Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. A state of emergency has been declared here in the CNMI. Also tonight, the landfill needs an extension and DPW is requesting help. And lawmakers express their concern about PSS budget. In sports, the MARPI pool is green now, but it will turn blue. That's the plan. Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
What is Whole Home Wi-Fi? Whole Home Wi-Fi spreads Wi-Fi across your entire home. Pods plug straight into the wall. No messy cables. They spread the internet from your modem to every corner of your home at full speed. Whole Home Wi-Fi doesn't just make your Wi-Fi faster, it intelligently adapts to your environment and manages your Wi-Fi 24/7, based on insight like the number and types of devices connected to your home. Whole Home Wi-Fi, powered by Plume. Learn more at docomopacific.com.
Hafa Day to Wami and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Wednesday, January 29th, 2020. Governor Ralph Torres has declared a state of significant emergency concerning the coronavirus in the CNMI and today asked CPA to stop incoming flights from China.
My executive order stating the state of emergency, asking CPA board to suspend all flights from China, direct flights from China.
The governor said he does not have the unilateral authority to stop the incoming flights, but CPA will ask the Department of Transportation to do so.
Basically, it's a declaration of emergency, stating the importance of our health care here, knowing the fact that coronavirus has been spread all over, basically all over the world. And like I said yesterday during our MBA meeting with the respective entities, as much as tourism here is our number one revenue, our health here in the CNMI is more important than any money.
Currently, there are still no confirmed cases of the coronavirus in the CNMI. The declaration will remain in effect for 30 days, unless Governor Torres terminates the state of emergency before the 30 days is over. The Department of Public Works met with several members of the House this afternoon to discuss urgent matters of the MARPI landfill. Sally Lemus has the details.
An urgent meeting requested by the Department of Public Works occurred today with not only committee chairs, but along with several concerned House representatives. Blas Muffness, acting director of DPW, presented proposals to the members that might help with challenges faced with the landfill.
The bottom line is we are trying to extend the life of the landfill. I really do not look forward into just wasting our limited land space, real estate for that matter, and just to build another landfill. We'd rather save that for homestead, like I said, or whatever more needed purpose, rather than building another home.
Muffness says the landfill is not full, but they are taking all the precautions needed, especially with the unpredictable weather.
Whenever a disaster hits us, those are unprojected volume that's going to come in. Fortunately, in this recent Typhoon Yutu, we did have assistance through FEMA to do some waste reduction through incineration of some materials such as the vegetation as well as the CND lumber. So that rather than going to the hole, those went into ashes, which now we can mix with the cover material too, to use for our interim daily cover for the landfill.
Currently, Cell 1 is being used for collection of all waste. Mafna states they have exceeded the projected lifespan of Cell 1, and so in planning ahead, DPW is already in the design stage of rehabbing Cell 2.
The whole total area of the landfill is planned to accommodate 6 cells. CIP, capital improvement projects, they only provided or only constructed 2 cells. So we got space for 4 more cells. However, we can delay those if we do our part in waste diversion, so we don't keep spending money or asking for money to construct another cell.
During the meeting, members of the House shared other concerns regarding separation of trash, dumping of cooking oil from food establishments, and more. Representative Ivan Blanco expressed his gratitude for the updates and requested for another meeting in the next couple of days to address the other concerns. Reporting for KSPN News, I'm Sally Limis.
After receiving confirmation and clearance on what the public school system should be receiving, lawmakers express what should be done. Sally Limis has more.
A few weeks ago, the Supreme Court released their decision in the matter of a certified question petition. Currently, discussions are ongoing with the executive branch, public school system administration, and leadership at the legislature. Chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, Ivan Blanco, shares with KSPN how the decision may affect the fiscal year budget.
The way we've been doing the budget for a while, since FY 2015, was that we take care of these earmarks first, and then whatever the net is where we pay out the 25%. At this time, it's the gross is where PSS gets its 25%. Now that's going to affect the earmarks, which include our bonds payments and whatnot. I think also the settlement fund payments. So sitting down with the executive branch and PSS and deciding where to go with this, it's critical. We have to do it as soon as possible, and I understand that there's preliminary discussions going on. I also understand that PSS had already met with the governor and some members of the legislature.
Blanco shares his thoughts on this matter.
We should consider looking into when the 25% kicked in, which was in FY15. Did we, per the opinion from the court, did we pay PSS to 25%? And if we did not, what can we do from future budgets to pay those? Whether PSS wants to go that far back or wants to just look forward, that's the decision that has to be made by all the stakeholders. If PSS wants to also consider the current budget we're now in to factor in the court's opinion, I'm looking forward to that. But if not, I'm also looking forward to, if they should decide to just consider it in the FY21 budget, which is coming up to be submitted to us by April 1st.
Blanco says if PSS decides to act now and request for the rightful amount, legislature and the administration will have to amend the budget by July. Roman Beneventi, chairman of education, says he was happy when he heard about the Supreme Court opinion, but expresses his concern on their budget managing.
Although there are some certain areas that I like to also share with PSS and to caution also PSS with regards to expenditures and even the salaries and the salaries of employees, as far as giving the PSS. I have nothing against raising salaries for employees and whatnot, but make it to the point where it's within the scope of the law and not to supersede the authority of the law. And that's what happens in this past. I think there was some issues with regards to that, and that's why it triggers these commotions that leads to these kind of complaints.
This is Sally Limis for KSPN News.
Members of the American College of Trial Lawyers wrapped up a 3-day conference that was held at the Fiesta Resort and Spa. Take a listen. The Pacific Judicial Conference wrapped up today with over 100 judges, lawyers, and justices gaining special training in various topics.
It's an important conference. It brings in attorneys from the American College of Trial Lawyers. These are the top-notch attorneys. It's very difficult to be admitted into their membership, and we have the good fortune of them coming in and teaching us on the issues that we identified we needed help with.
9 representatives from the American College of Trial Lawyers gave presentations focusing on trial and appellate practice.
We are seeing a level of expertise that is a lifetime of achievement, because this is an organization that is by invitation only, be allowed and admitted into membership based upon the excellence in their legal careers as attorneys.
Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, Judge John Manglonia, states this training is important for the Saipan judiciary to gain best skills and practice.
One of the purposes of the conference is to make sure that the attorneys and judges leave with best practice approaches and methods. So I think we are successful in that regard.
This is the first year Saipan has held this conference, with hopes of hosting ACTL again in the future.
We just want to thank the ACTL, the American College of Trial Lawyers, really a resourceful group, and we're happy to host them this year, and we hope they're back again.
Coming up, Catholic schools dedicate a week to recognize contributions and leadership of the devoted. More after the break.
Mom, are you sure? What about the shutters? And do you have your medicine?
Don't worry about us, love, okay? You take good care of yourself. I'm in love. Yeah, sorry. The power went out, so I had to light up all the candles. Yeah. Yes, baby, yeah. I'm just glad our home phone's working and we're able to contact you.
Things happen when we least expect it. So why wait? Buy insurance today. Visit Pacific Insurance Underwriters in Susupe.
Jose and Pedro were born on the very same day. Jose liked to play sports. Pedro liked to play video games. Jose's favorite word was pass. Pass me the ball. Pedro's favorite word was pass too. Pass me the rice. Jose is retired and has both time and energy. His life is just beginning. Pedro has diabetes, hypertension, and gout. His life could soon end. Eat less, play more, live longer. Brought to you by PHI, the pharmacy you can trust.
Welcome back. It is Catholic Schools Week in the CNMI, and our Sally Lemus heads down to Mount Carmel School, one of the oldest Catholic schools on Saipan.
In 1952, the Catholic Church on Saipan chose to bring Catholic education to the people, which established Our Lady of Mercy Kindergarten, or now known as Sister Remedios Early Childhood Development Center. The following year, Mount Carmel School opened, and this week, they celebrate contributions and leadership of the devoted.
Mount Carmel School has been celebrating Catholic Schools Week for a very long time, and it's really a national celebration. So I believe all schools around the nation celebrates this week as Catholic Schools Week, and the theme is learn, lead, and succeed. And so, really focusing on that and taking their role as learners and leaders in our community.
As the Catholic schools on Saipan and Escuela in San Francisco de Borja on Rota celebrate this week, students continue to stay engaged in the activities.
Catholic Schools Week means to me about how we could all increase our faith. So just this past Sunday, we had like a mass with nearly all the students of our school attending the mass. So it helps us build this religious connection with the Lord. And second of all, it not only refers to religious values, but to the environment's cleanliness. So just this past few days, we had the CNMI forestry help us plant trees and help us gain back our nature and wildlife here in our school. So yeah, that's a pretty good thing.
After the proclamation signing on Friday, Mount Carmel continues to hold activities for their students and community members.
This past Monday, we celebrated communities, and so our students did many different activities like cleaning the beach and helping out with the public library, and they planted some trees and plants on campus and at the cathedral as well. Yesterday we celebrated faculty and staff and teachers, and so they recognized the Teachers of the Year and Support Staff of the Year. And today the theme is vocation. So we had guest speakers to talk about vocations such as married life and joining the priesthood or even becoming a sister. So that's the focus of today. And tomorrow, Thursday, the theme will be nations, so we're focusing on that. And then Friday we're going to celebrate our students and their families.
Catholic schools in the CNMI continue to provide outstanding education to their students, thus contributing to the welfare of the Commonwealth.
Why I think it's important and why we celebrate it is because we are the only Catholic school on island, and just a way for us to celebrate this, it helps strengthen our bond, because some people forget that they're Catholic. Not really, but like they forget their purpose.
This is Sally Lemus for KSPN News.
On Guam, lawyer volunteers are giving free advice to war claimants, and legal challenge is moving forward in a law requiring insurance companies to include all local hospitals. KUAM has the details.
Today, Tato CNMI, here's what's making news on Guam. The Guam Bar Association stepping up to help war claimants. Lawyer volunteers will be available at the War Claims Processing Center in Tamuning beginning tomorrow to provide free legal advice for certain people regarding their claims. Bar member and attorney Jay Areola explains.
What we'll be doing is having at least a few lawyers every day from 9 to 11 a.m. so long as this center remains open, providing counsel and advice to heirs of deceased claimants who have their appropriate information, and giving them the necessary affidavits to fill out and sign and have notarized, submitted here to the processing center, and put them in line to receive their claim payable to the estate of the deceased claimant.
Surviving heirs will need to bring the following: valid government ID or a passport, the claim or decision letter from the Foreign Claims Settlement Commission, the death certificate of the claimant, a list of names and birth dates of all heirs of the deceased claimant, and a copy of the claimant's last will, if any. The legal challenge will go forward against a law that requires insurance companies to include all local hospitals in their network coverage for the GovGuam healthcare contract. Local provider Take Care Insurance has argued that the law is unconstitutional. In a decision Monday, District Court Magistrate Judge Joaquin Manabusen found that the question remains whether Guam Public Law 35-2 is an improper delegation of authority or not. The judge goes on, this is a factual issue that needs to be determined at trial. The court says the issue is whether there is a violation of the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. Manabusen ordered a scheduling conference for February 25th. In celebration of the 50th anniversary of the Elected Governor Act, senators held a special resolution signing ceremony today at the Guam Congress Hall. Maine sponsored Senator Mary Camacho Torres, who is the daughter of Guam's first elected governor, the late Carlos G. Camacho, also invited members of her father's cabinet to recognize them for their roles in the first elected local government.
Many good things happened then. And I think what I'm most proud of is, while I may get chastised for always going between the aisles in the political parties, perhaps I really am Carlos Camacho's daughter. Because in those early days, the Republicans were only 10% of Guam. So his cabinet wasn't Republicans. It wasn't party loyalty or party leadership. It was people-driven, and it was principle-driven. So Sidus Maasi to all of you who really set the standard.
Governor Carlos Camacho and Lieutenant Governor Kurt Moylan were elected by popular vote in November of 1970 and sworn into office in January 1971. Stay connected by way of our KUAM mobile news app. Follow us on any of the social media platforms and sign up for our weekly email newsletter, KUAM Digital Digest, on KUAM.com. For Guam's News Network, Guahusi Chris Barnett.
Sports Report, homegrown. That's what the next men's national soccer team will be, and we will be.
Back after a timeout.
Oh hey, half a day. Did you know that federal funds, grants, and support to the CNMI community are based on our total population and information broken down by sex, age, race, and other factors?
Each year, the CNMI receives millions of dollars in public funding for important community services like schools, police, fire, healthcare, roads, and much, much more.
However, if there is an undercount in the CNMI, we may not get our full share of these resources.
People in the community use Census Bureau data in all kinds of ways.
Residents use it to support community initiatives that involve legislation, quality of life, and consumer advocacy.
Businesses use the data to decide where to build hotels, offices, and stores, and in turn, this creates jobs.
Our government officials use the data to ensure public safety, plan new schools, housings, and hospitals.
Your participation is truly important for strengthening communities and families in the CNMI, and it only takes a few minutes.
The 2020 census staff will be visiting your home to gather information on your household. I encourage your family and friends to participate and answer all questions to ensure accurate data.
The questions they will never ask for is your citizenship status, bank account, and your social security card number or donations and money.
If anyone claiming to be a census employee asks you any of these, please contact the CNMI Census Office immediately.
Your information is safe and private. In fact, federal law prohibits anyone at the Census Bureau from sharing personal census information. Any violators will be subjected to severe fines and jail time.
Count everyone once,
only once,
and in the right place. Be blessed and be counted CNMI. Si Diyos mas.
Watch the Visitors Channel online, on time, anytime at saipantv.com. Where to go, what to see, what to do. Restaurants, spas, activities, and culture. It's all in one place, in high definition, on your mobile device. saipantv.com. Check it out.
Buenas sports fans. Buenas sports fans, 16 months after the MARPI pool closed, the first efforts to reopen it are underway. Governor Torres, Mayor David Apatang, government agencies, and the Northern Mariana Sports Association with their new president, Jerry Tan, and the NMI Swimming Federation gathered around the green pool to learn of the next steps for this facility that used to host the National Swimming Program.
Our plan is to, at the end of the day, up and running. So we're going to be draining the water the next couple of days, have Mayor's office help out with our department, come in and clean the debris, make sure it's safe, and then look at the logistics on operation. Public Land will be coming in tomorrow to give access to the well that fills out the water.
As of now, the governor says it's a work in progress.
We're wanting to make sure that we have a plan. Jerry and I will be meeting along with the NAMASA board, and then we'll go from there.
But right now you've got local agencies here And it looks like you're going to be using the public sector to get this thing off the ground.
Yes, and I think this is where we're very fortunate to have Jerry as the chairman for NUMASA, willing that his support for the sports, and to bring in all of our private entities and partnership to come in and play a great role, not just on this project, but all of our sports project that we're moving forward as well.
NMI Swimming Federation President John Hirsch welcomes the splash of good news.
We're just incredibly grateful. The NMI Swimming Federation, we suffered a big loss when the pool, due to the expiration of the land lease out here, went out of service. So all of our swimmers have been training in the ocean and in alternate swimming locations over the last couple of years, just trying to stay competitive and participating in the micro games and in the Pacific mini games and through other international competitions. So reopening this pool is extremely important to us, not only for our local swimmers, but for all the athletes that are coming to Saipan to train here, to be part of the overall Oceania Swimming Federation.
Spring is in the air. Youth soccer players are starting practice for the 2020 spring season. And with that, the first steps in reaching their full potential through a structured developmental program. After 14 years, the results are in. The Northern Mariana Islands Football Federation has succeeded in developing enough quality players to the point where they can field, for the first time, a national team that will consist mainly, if not completely, of players born and raised on Saipan who went through the NMIFA Youth Program. That system is based on the establishment of clubs, franchises really, that become the backbone of the leagues year after year, providing continuity of coaching and playing. NMIFA also provides professional coaching and off-island training and competitions. That attracts more and more youth each year. The dividends are now evident. When the 2020 national teams will form this summer for the East Asian Football Federation tournament, it'll be the NMI Youth Program graduates taking the pitch. NMIFA member Norman Del Rosario reports on the status of the 2020 Nationals.
It's pretty exciting because as we all know, during the last EAFF, we had really good result. The kids buy into the system of Coach Mita, which is the most important thing. You buy into the system, you believe in the process. So that's the same thing right now. We got a lot of younger kids. It's really good to see that those kids that started with NMIFA when we are starting are now on the men's national team.
The planning process for the formation of this summer's squad has begun.
We already send email to our off-island players, which is actually born and raised in Saipan, so they're not really off-island players. So we send an email, and I think we're getting good numbers of players that express in their interest to play for the national team again.
Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw!
Get your game and gear at Gold's Gym Saipan. Group exercise is a great way to get fit and then stay fit. For something high tempo, go for a ride with one of our instructors in our new spin room. Let's roll. Pilates improves flexibility, builds strength, and develops control and endurance in the whole human body. It also improves coordination and balance. And the Shake Cafe is a great place to stop by for a meal replacement or supplement. See you at Gold's Gym.
Traveling or laying over on Guam? Don't wait around. Zip into Guam Adventures at Zipline Park inside the Hilton Resort and Spa. Guides will take you through a series of zips, starting with a mountain course and then zip over the ocean with spectacular views of Tumon Bay. 6 zip lines in all deliver a thrilling experience, and it's family friendly, so bring the kids ages 6 and up. You'll love the security of double lines and a new braking system to make riding smoother. The towers are named after the islands in the Marianas. We call it the Island Hopper. Your guides will teach you what you need to know to soar through the jungle with a bird's eye view. Best of all, for residents of Saipan, Tinian, and Rota, you can book this experience at 20% savings. Log on to GuamAdventures.com and during checkout, use offer code HAFA20. Book it and zip it today. We'll even pick you up. Today's high 86, the low 78, 66% humidity, partly cloudy, isolated showers, east winds 10 to 15. High 86, low 76, seas 4 to 6. Sunrise at 6:46, high tide 11:34, followed by low tide 5:57. Sunset 13 past 6.
All right, thank you, Bob, for that weather report.
Certainly.
Beautiful
My
day
job.
out.
I feel like it was my responsibility to do that.
It is. I like that later sunset. We get a little bit of sun when we get off work. Which
Boy,
is
the
nice.
sunsets. Saipan have the best sunsets, yes or no? True or false?
I say yes.
And that is correct.
That I've ever seen.
Passed the test.
I passed the test. All right, well, let's
You
get
got
on
an
out
A.
in that sun.
All right. Let's get
Have
to
a great rest of your night.
Good night.